Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of RuleBook RX. I'm Dee, and today we're going to be taking a look at Canvas. It's a 1 to 5 player from Road to Infamy Games. It's been winning a lot of awards from the Dice Tower all the way to some of the other major awards for board gaming. So I thought I would take a look here and find out what the buzz is about with Canvas. The graphic design is by Jeffrey Chin. And the game was also created by him along with Andrew Nerger. So we're going to be taking a look at that rulebook. I'm going to be talking about all the graphic design elements of that rulebook. How does it work for UI, UX, or user interface, user experience? How does a rulebook feel? How does it explain the rules? Is it a hard teach? What's my prognosis for it? We're going to find out after this. All right. We have got the rulebook here set up for Canvas, and right in the front, it's just a nice little image. Kind of reminds you of the background of one of the paintings here. You've got just kind of this sparse information on here, nothing too eye-catching or nothing too grabby. On here, you've got, I love when they kind of just spend one whole page with this really nice, explaining through visuals right here. And once again, the setup, everything is shown, especially right here for your own areas. I love that. Speaking of things I love is when companies do this for something as easy as on your turn. So right here, from anytime they talk about taking a card or completing a painting, it is color coordinated, and I find that extremely easy to use. This way, when you're kind of doing the teach, you can quickly see at a glance what's going on with these. The layout here, once again, very explanatory with symbols instead of using a lot of words. They kind of put all the text in a nice little bite-sized chunks. Once again, visual representation everywhere, which makes sense for a game like this, which is so heavily dedicated to art. This is looking great. Easy to read fonts. I mean, some of these are a little, scraggly, but everything else is extremely easy to read. You got the solo variant right here with its own color. Going down the scoring, once again, that's great. It was easy to learn the scoring or how to play the solo variant for this, so high accolades there. And also just kind of something to point out. Oh, on the back page, normally I would ding this for not having another set of rules. There were no cards to go to the players, for a player aid. So it would be nice to kind of have that on here. But since it is so easy and laid out on the inside, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a pass. The other thing I was gonna say is the feel of this is extremely nice. It kind of has that Wingspan rulebook feel with a very nice velvety touch, which is, as a user experience, something I always love is when it's a pleasure to hold the thing that can scare someone away so much. That's the rulebook. I'm going to go back and give you more of an explanation of what I think and what's working and what's not working. And so there you have it. That's the rulebook for Canvas. And I got to say, this game is a really thinky puzzle type game, but the rulebook does an outstanding job of explaining the rules. I was able to pick it up, no problem, teach my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my wife, a group of my friends that I play with. Everyone has not only learned this game, but loved it because of how much of a welcoming game it is, with that easy to learn rulebook. The game itself is great. I love it, but I'm not really reviewing the game. I'm reviewing all of the elements that go into with that rulebook that comes with the game. So there are a couple other things that are, outside of the rulebook that I could explain as well. Like the copy that I have has like some neoprene mats, and that always makes it easy to kind of lay out and say this is where everything goes, especially when it's all included in the game. I find that kinds of stuff fantastic. The other thing that I'd be remiss to not point out is the game itself comes with a little notch in the back, and it kind of feels like a canvas back here. I myself graduated in an art degree, so all of this feels like home to me, with just the way this box is laid out. And then you can hang this on your wall. I've got the expansion back there. Normally I have this one up here, but I've got that one up there. So that does that as well. I'm going to be reviewing that rulebook at a later date. I just wanted to start with the first one, and then I'll move on to the expansion at a moment. But I got to say, as a user experience, to be able to hang this on my wall instead of just sticking into another cubicle here. I love that because this always gets a reaction. Someone's like, oh, that looks like a piece of art. And you can kind of say, no, it's a board game, and let me teach it to you. And with a rule book as easy as this one is, it's going to be easy to do that. While teaching the game, I rarely ever have any moments of that, anxiety of like, oh my goodness, I don't know how this is, how this rule goes, because everything's really well laid out from that setup all the way to, how to play through the end game, and solo as well. Like I said, not too terrible of a teach to yourself. So yeah, I'm gonna give Canvas with its velvety feel here a alive and well as a prognosis. Not a lot of complaints. Maybe the only other complaint I could say would be, a little bit more gussied up cover, and then maybe a rule summary on the back. But it's only take 2 actions, and there's not much you can really lay out there. So that's why I'm not really giving it too much of a ding for not having player aids or not having an explanation in the back quickly to reference, because it's all out there. And the other thing that I'll mention is all of the problems that you could have with these cards, like some of the end game cards, are all right on the back. I find that extremely interesting because, that you just, well, what does this mean? You just flip it over and then you can learn right there. So yeah, that's Canvas. I think Jeffrey Chin knocked it out of the park with the layout, the user experience. Like I said, that velvety feel, the ability to put this piece of artwork up on a wall instead of on a shelf is going to gain high marks from me. Once again, I'm Dee here at the Board Game RX. I'm going to be reviewing more board game rule books, looking at the graphic design, user experience, and user interface that goes along with that. How does that affect teaching? What experience did I have teaching with the rule book? Did I have to use Rodney Smith? Also, this one, I did not have to use Rodney Smith. So I felt pretty good about that. So if you're ever at all curious, have any questions, write them down in the comments below. I'd love to answer them for you. But for now, thanks for stopping on by RuleBook RX. I'm Dee. You have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe if you can. We'll see you in the next one.